Hello, I'm Brasweet, and this is the Zachtronics Solitaire collection. Um, I've, I figured I wanted to make a guide for this game to sort of showcase my strategies for how I solve these games and tips and tricks so that maybe they're helpful for you as well. I've been speedrunning this game for quite a while now. I hold the world record in 100%, where you beat all these games once. And yeah, the tips that I'll be talking about are gonna be more. I have more things to talk about in the later games, so I'm gonna do these in reverse order. So we'll jump right into Fortune's Foundation. So at the start here, you're gonna have a bunch of consecutive tiles, a bunch of cards that can join together. So here the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of wheels can all connect. You can of course do a bunch of things here. In this case my argument is gonna look a bit weird because there's more than 2 cards, so let's first consider these 8 and 9. I can move the 9 onto the 8 and the 8 onto the 9. And that's immediately a choice that I have to make. So I want to look at the cards behind these to see what's actually useful. So under the 9 I have the king and the jack, king of kings and not jack of cups. These don't actually connect at all. Here I have the major 1, major 4, these don't connect either. So maybe this is not what I want to do and I want to look somewhere else. Of course, in reality, I'm gonna look at the wheels first, but this is just for the sake of argument. Since I have a bunch of cards here, probably the most logical thing to do here is to just move them all onto one stack. That isn't guaranteed to be the correct play, but it works well enough most of the time, so I'm just gonna start doing that. Now the question becomes, do I move the 5 onto the 6 or the 6 onto the 5? So I can do the same thing. The 21 goes to the foundation, 6 goes over there, 3 goes over there, 2 goes onto foundation. That's already 2 moves I can do. I'm not intrinsically interested in moving things to the foundation. I mostly want to make sure that I can keep making moves. Over here the 15 doesn't move, the 9 of cups doesn't move either, so this seems alright. I can also see what moving the 7 onto the 6 does, but I don't immediately gain extra moves, so this is gonna be fine. Now here I have the same thing, 6 through 9 of swords. I can move the 8 for free, and then let's see what these do. The queen, the 5 actually moves onto the 6 now, and the 19 moves on the stack, and the 2 goes onto the foundation. So I have 1 card that doesn't move, so I can move this away and do all of this. And actually the queen goes onto the king. That's actually interesting. I want to make sure that I always have at least one spot on the tableau open after a combination that I plan out. Because you can't really do a lot without it, or without that free spell. If a stack is facing the wrong way, then you can't turn it around and whatnot. So now that I have 2 stacks, you could have a look at which moves will open up spaces for me. Maybe this will move the 2 and the 17 can go with these. That's probably fine. In a speedrun, I would not fuss so much about those. That's not something that's really comes up often. So now I can do maneuvers that will keep my space open. And in this case, I seemed to have gotten a somewhat easier deal. Maybe let's look over here. Here I can move this. And then what will I do with this? Maybe just the forward is fine, so I can do this maybe, although neither the 10 or the 12 are that interesting. Alright, it has come to a point where maybe I wanna actually... Oh wait, I can temporarily do this move, and then I can do this, and then the one over there. Now if I move this back, this all this is gonna move to the foundations. Queen, Jack, King, the 0 is fine. Do this. And yeah, now that I'm in the end game and I've actually like broken in the game properly, I probably want to after you've moved a bunch of cards to the foundation, you're probably not going to lose anymore, so you can just speed through these. Alright, moving on to Shenzhen. Here, since the dragon cards, if you expose too many of them, you're quite likely to get stuck. So, the way I wanna tackle this is I wanna look at clearing out one set of dragon cards at a time. So if I look at this, there's a bunch of whites and reds that are immediately quite buried, so I probably want to be looking at greens first. I have no dragons that I need to clear out, but I do have this 9 that needs to move. I can do this though. I do not have space for the 7, so maybe we need another free spot for that. There you go. That's one set done. Now maybe I want to see what I can do here. The 3 doesn't actually move, which is interesting. I can do this. Is that worthwhile? Maybe it makes... it doesn't quite make sense to do that. Maybe that. To move this 3, I don't immediately have a spot. I can swap the... I can't move this green 6 onto there, but I can make a swap with these 6. I can always make a swap like this if I have 2 consecutive pairs visible. Therefore 3, 5, I can do another swap like this. I do need to have a free cell available, so let's do this. And then the 8, so I have a spot for the 7. Probably want to be doing whites instead. There you go. And then the reds as well. Alright, let's see if we can do this again. This is the one game that I know of where it has been confirmed that some deals are unwinnable. So that's something you gotta consider, is you can't win all of them. Here I can maybe go for red. There's not something that's immediately in the way. But what I've also noticed is that we can do this and get a free cell and get a tableau spot like that. Now I have a bunch of 4s. This is fine. You gotta pay attention that when you if you clear out the first set of dragon cards, that you can actually continue playing. Here I had a dragon on the as a single on the tableau, so it was gonna move away. But yeah, it's something you gotta consider. Here this white is quite buried behind 2 9s. The 9s are also root cards that can't stack onto anything else. And the greens have just this one white that it's buried under, so probably that's what I want to go for. Do the switch again. Then the 3, I have to switch again. I'll do this for the heck of it. Then the 5 can go here, so I can move the whites. And there you go, that's another one dealt with. So yeah, this is a game if you take your time. It's got quite a lot of moving parts, but if you can take your time, it's fairly doable most of the time. Right, moving on to Kabufuda. I am gonna just do rounds on expert. On the lower difficulties, there's not much different, except you can bomb much more because you start with more open slots. So let's load up a game. So yeah, this game is infamously difficult, in spite of how simple it looks. And yeah, there's not really a magic bullet that's gonna make you win all the games. You do have to look quite far forward in order to have a chance at winning the game. Ideally, what I want to look for is to have both a way to get both a set of 4 and a free cell to put free space on the table to put that set of 4 on. That doesn't always happen. That doesn't always happen right from the start. But yeah, we'll see what we can do here. This is a very unusual looking shuffle, though, I must say. I can do this. Okay, this is actually okay, so the thing that I've sussed out here is kind of weird, so maybe we'll do another game afterwards that's gonna look a bit more normal. I can move the 2 4s over here and the 2 here. By the way, the cards have ranks. If you don't want to learn the numerals, then you can count the number of beans over here. So this is a 5, and under here is a 2. And then this is an ace and this is a jack. So I can do this, then put this on here, and then if I do this, then this would be my maneuver to put a stack on the table. So now I want to look further. If I do that, then yeah, I can see what I'm gonna do here afterwards. If I move this, I have 2 free cells. So I can move this away, move this here, move the 2 over here, send this one away, and then move the aces to get another free cell. So there you go, and I can get another set for free like this. Here maybe what I want to do is do something with these. It looks a bit weird. This is much easier. I can just do this and that. Now that I have 3 open spaces, I want to think about moving cards to moving sets to the top. Basically you lose if you have 8 distinct cards visible exposed on the bottom, where these closed sets count each as a distinct card. If you have 3 sets up top, then you can have there are at most 7 distinct ranks on the table, and you can't actually lose anymore. So over here, what I probably want to do is this, and then that. Okay, well I can't move. I couldn't move this onto the free cell, but I can do this, and now we can just close out. And there you go. Let's do another one so we can see what a more normal game looks like. Okay, so here I got quite lucky again. I'm not gonna need the free cell that I start with. I can just make a set like this, and then something to consider is, of course, usually I just want to put this on the table, but I could in theory move it right here. Basically what's gonna happen is if I move this stack on the table, then I have two free cells, the one I have now and the one that I'm gonna unlock. If I move the set up top, then instead I'm gonna have the one empty spot on the top, on the tableau. The 2 free cells are usually better because they can hold 2 distinct cards, but the empty spot on the tableau can hold a 3 of a kind, and 2 free cells cannot do that. So there are rare cases where you have to move a stack up top early. So yeah, we're gonna do this. And then if I do this, I don't immediately have a free cell. No. So I do have to be careful about what I want to do with this. If I do this, no, wait. What I can do is this, and then these 2 can go up top. Now what I will do after I do this. I can move this around for free, and then this will give me another set to work with. Yeah, I can do this and make a free cell, free space. There you go. And that's that done as well. So yeah, this is not a game I can win every time. So in the speedruns I do this game second after Fortunes. But yeah, that's how you generally go about this. Alright, time for Cluj Solitaire. This game, the things I do are quite intuitive. I can just start by just doing moves and seeing what happens usually. So in this case, I can move the 10, 9, 8, 10 goes here, 7 goes here. Now I have jack that I want to connect to the king, so I want a queen here. I generally want to pay attention to cards that will let me connect the stacks that I already have. In this case, I want those jacks because I want to connect the 10 to the queen. So I'll do this. So far I've done this without too much cheating. I have 2 8s here, so probably it's a good thing to look for 9s. I can always, when in doubt, you can always use expose 6 as a free cell. There, then the 9 there. 9, 7, 6. Alright, this game was very straightforward. Let's run through that again. So yeah, this is a game where I hate to say this, but it is just something that you gotta get a feel for. Especially with all the different kind of maneuvers that are possible with cheaty cards. Here I can maybe look for... I do want the queen probably, so let's do this. And then I have another 10. I have a bunch of 10s and 8s, so maybe look for 9s. There's a 9 here, 9 here, and a 9 here. Okay, maybe we just gotta do this. And then let's see if I can get this to move. 10, 8, 6 is again a bit awkward. This is not a straightforward one, definitely. Probably the queen jack over here are nice to have. So I am gonna do this, even though I am gonna have to cheat quite a few cards. Jack 10. I have the 10 here that I want. How do I deal with this actually? Ooh, work. This might not actually work. Yeah, if I do the 10. Oh wait, I can do this, then the 10, then jack, queen, king, like that. There you go. That was a very weird one, but it illustrates the kind of things you can do here. Alright, moving on to cribbage. So yeah. Here what looks like the thing that immediately catches my attention here is that I have a pair of 6 and a pair of 8. So typically, what I want to go for, what I want to do here is if I have nearly a combination, then I want to look further on to see if I can match something with it. The 7 is under the 6/8, so it doesn't like synergize well. Maybe what is interesting is this 4/5/6, and then this 8 here can make a triple here. That's probably what I want to start with. So I can make 15 with King 5 and then a run. Now my triple is gonna be the 8. I have the 6 and the 2 that I have to deal with here. I probably want the 2 here, so I can do this here. With the jack here, often with jacks the good play is to make turn the jack into a run of 3. So over here I can make jack 10-9 in my next hand probably. So with the rest what I can do is king 5-6 for a pair and 31. Jack 10-9-2 is gonna score 5. So yeah, here my next play is probably the triplets here. I already used the triplet of 8, so yeah, that means I can't use 7s and 9s effectively for runs. That's kind of the way cribbage rolls. You often have games that are more run heavy and games that are more triplet heavy. So over here this will probably have to be a throwaway, and then 7-7-9, 7-7-7 with a 10 is gonna be a 31 as well. Here what I can do, I can make a run 2-3-4, and I can possibly make another triplet of queens. So yeah, maybe take the 10 here. So queen 9-2-3-4, and then here triplet of queens and ace here. Okay, now I have an opportunity for now it looks like I'm gonna have an opportunity for a chained run. So I can make a run by either extending a run that I already have, or I can repeat a run to basically get the score same run again. So what I can do here is I can play 6-5-4 and then extend with a 3. Or what I can do is I can play 3-4-5-6 to make a run of 4, and then play a 3 again, which is gonna score another run of 4. And then after that I can extend with a 2. So that's what I want to do with it. So looks like that's what I want to do with this. It's a good thing to consider if I can score a quick 15 here. I can actually score 8-3-4, makes 15. And I know that a run 2-6 is 20 total, so I can add an 8 and a 3 afterwards. So that's actually gonna be fine. 6-5-3-2. And there you go, there's my win. In a speedrun, of course, I can exit out immediately. I'm just gonna play this out for the heck of it. I don't have an immediate run available here, but I can make a 15, 10, 3, and then make check 10, 9. And this is not gonna score, but okay. So yeah, that's cribbage. Good that I managed to show off most of the things you can do here in one game. In general, it can be an idea to memorize the values of some runs. So for example, the run 2 through 6 that I saw here, I knew that I was 20. I can use that information to do some quick maths. Some other sequences that add to 31, you can make 7, 8, 9, 7. That's actually scores both 15 and 31, so that sequence is worth 10 points. It can be very valuable if it shows up. A 7, 6, 5, 7, 6 is 3 change runs and 31 for 11 points. That's also quite valuable. But yeah, that's something that's, like a lot of the other things, is gonna show up with, is gonna become more clear once you have more experience at the game. Alright, it's time for Proletariat's Patience. So at the start, what I want to do is find a way to get a free space, and then hopefully I can start building out the numbered stacks. I would prefer if I built these stacks from the middle out. That way it's less likely that I get stuck with it's less likely that I get stuck with 2 stacks that can't join up. So here I'm looking at this 8 over here and maybe this 8 here. I can do this, and maybe the 10 will go under the free cell for now. That's perfectly fine. Here what I can do is, if I do this, then the diamond moves back over here. Here, if I move this 6, I can move the 10 over here. Still have these spades that I don't have anything useful for. Maybe swap these. Do that. I do want this 8, but I don't have anything great for this to play. Anything great that this can go with. I can do this, and then the 6s go here. Yeah, now I have the spade. I can do this. So yeah, not a lot of interesting things to talk about, because I do think this is pretty forward game once you get the hang of it. I'll do another just to show off some more things. So here we don't have any free 8s immediately. Maybe this one is nice. But I do have a red 7, so maybe I want a black 8. So let's put the 10 on the free cell. Then actually this was... Did I do this the wrong way around? No, I can do this. And I can do that. Made a slight misjudgment, but it didn't end up punishing me, thankfully. Now I can move the free cell back and free cell card back and put the 9 under it, and the 9 over it. The 8 here. Maybe the 9 goes onto the freezer again. Actually, I have to put it back and do this. This 10 goes with the spades here. I have 2 freezer, so I can do this. 9, 8. 6s can go here, and then 10 here. There you go. All right, that's pretty much it. So yeah, quite straight. This is one you can just, with a bit of practice, you'll get the hang of it quite easily. Alright, time to jump into Sigmar's Garden. This is a game where I have to admit I'm gonna be a little bit skill checked. The way to get good at this game is to do a lot of pre-planning, and then at some point you're gonna be able to do more pre-planning quickly. That's not something I go for during runs, because this game is much less punishing to sort of play fast and sloppy compared to, say, Fortunes or Kabufuda. If I do just use some basic heuristics, then I can get a win rate that's over 50% basically. So what I'll do is I'll scope out where the metals are. Over here. So there's, and then the quicksilvers, there's no interest. This board doesn't have any interesting interactions between the quicksilvers and the metals, but there could be a case where, for example, oh, actually, now that I look at it, well, yeah, this iron, because of the free space, is barely reachable without clearing this quicksilver. But for example, if this quicksilver would be over here or something, or here, then I would have to clear that out before, in order to gain access to the iron. I have to match this quicksilver with either the tin or the lead. So yeah, now that I know what to go, what I'm doing, I can go for. I can dig for the first few metals. I generally in runs I generally like to avoid matching salts with cardinals. I have to here, so I can do that. Tin over here would match with this. This quicksilver might be useful at some point. I will have to match the salts anyway, so let's just do this. There you go. Match it in. And there you go. So yeah, as I said, I'm not the most skilled at this, so I don't have a lot to add here, so let's just move on. Alright, last on the list is Sawayama Solitaire. This is another game that's I kind of play fight-based. Just want to see what kind of moves are available. In this case I got lucky and I got 2 free spaces available. I probably don't want to fuss too hard about what to do here. Here what I can do is pull these low cards, the 4-3. These are cards that can help me build the foundations as I move along. So there's some value in taking these. I would even consider taking these if I had only one free spot, and I would use my last free spot for now. It is kind of a risky play, but it is something that pays off quite often. 9-7 is not immediately useful. I can do the 5 like this. And I did gain my free spot back. Probably don't want to take the 7 and the 3, so I'll just move on. 6, not that useful. The 4 is kind of low, but maybe since I have 2 free spaces, I can take this as well. Low 2 I'll pull. The 10 will... it's probably fine if it goes over here. Queen's not useful. B2 for another free cell. I want the ace, so I'm gonna pull the queen. Check 10, I can play. I can do this, then move the 9, the ace goes on the foundation, and then this queen goes here. The 4, maybe I want that. Doesn't seem that useful. I was 2 this stack anyway, so not such a big deal. Over here what I can do is move cards to the foundation, so I can pull this 4. I'll do this as well. The 8 goes here. There's a bad color queen. Maybe we'll have to... Oh wait, I can move the 6 over here. That's gonna be alright. The 8. I probably want to do this so I can move this crot. I can't take the jack immediately. 10, 7, 3. 3 goes and then the 9, and that would give me another free space. So I can do this, then the 10, then the 7, and then the 9s, and everything will just go to the foundations anyways. So yeah, that's gonna be it. This game in particular, of course, you can use your experience in traditional Klondike Solitaire if you want, but yeah, if not, I hope this was helpful for you, and the other game, and my guides for the other games were helpful for you as well. And yeah, goodbye.